I learned a new word today, which is anti-fragile. I'm just gonna look up the Wikipedia definition so I don't mess it up. Okay, anti-fragility is the property of an object that thrives when it is put under stress and improves when it is put under stressors. And the reason I learned about that word is because I was reading a book that says that your brain is anti-fragile, and therefore in order for it to grow and thrive, it kind of needs challenges that will help it improve. It's kind of like a diamond. Diamonds are made from coal, and over years of pressure, a coal turns into a diamond. So your brain is like that, where it needs challenges in order to thrive and to grow. And learning about this makes me feel very motivated and hopeful whenever I do go through some sort of stressful or challenging situation. Instead of seeing it as something that's stressful or that will hurt me down the line, I'm actually now changing my mindset to be like, oh, this will actually help me to grow. I don't want to romanticize abuse or trauma. I am just trying to say that whenever your brain is challenged, you can see it as a way to grow and learn from the experience. One of the reasons I'm making this video is because I decided to take on a challenge in my professional life, something that I have been avoiding this promotion because I didn't want to go through the hardships of something like that, of taking on more job duties than I was emotionally prepared for. But after I read that book, I realized that this is kind of unavoidable, and that if I resisted challenges in my life, my brain will actually go out and seek challenges that might not matter and that might not benefit me, that has no payoff down the line. Because your brain needs challenges, and if you do not give yourself challenges that are helpful or beneficial, your brain will actually go out and seek challenges. It will pick a problem that doesn't really matter and then fixate on that problem until it becomes a bigger issue. And I am speaking from personal experience. Whenever I'm not challenged enough, when I'm not busy, I notice that I tend to go down more anxiety spirals. I will pick a thing in my house, let's just say the windows, that haven't been cleaned in months. I've never cared before about whether the windows get cleaned, but for some reason, when I'm not challenged enough and when I don't have enough going on in my life, I will fixate on these windows and be like, oh my God, I have not cleaned these windows since we moved in, and this has now become the problem of my life, and if I do not fix this, it will end my existence and everything I've ever worked hard for. I don't know if this is relatable, but this is something I go through. And in reading about anti-fragility, I realized that this is all true, that when I don't have enough challenges or creativity or work or productivity in my life, I do tend to create problems for myself and fixate on them, and the payoff is not worth it compared to the payoff of a promotion at work, which is challenging, but at the same time will be rewarding down the line, whether it's for financial gain or work experience. There is a cultural obsession with chasing happiness, where we are always told that we deserve the happy life and we deserve to be queens and to relax and to live the resort style beachfront property sort of life that may or may not actually be all that it looks. When you go on social media, you always see people on vacation and everything, but that is not reality. Maybe they are that lucky and maybe they are that rich and they have all this generational income that allows them to live that lifestyle. But for the most part, all of that is just a facade and none of that is real. Chasing happiness all the time is impossible because your brain doesn't necessarily want to be happy all the time. It cannot stay in that level of happiness. And in fact, even when you go through a lifestyle change that is supposed to make you incredibly happy, change is actually very stressful for your brain, whether it's supposed to be a happy moment or a sad moment. You cannot chase happiness forever. You are not meant to chase happiness. You are not meant to be happy all the time. Your brain needs like downtime and your emotions need downtime, and there are times when sadness is actually really good for you. And chasing that happiness is a cultural obsession that we've all been fed through social media, through all of these accounts and pictures of people on vacation all the time. But it's not real, it's just a facade, and chasing it will make you even more unhappy down the line. Avoiding problems and real difficulties is not possible. Avoiding triggers is impossible. It's just part of the human existence. Accepting real challenges is what is going to help your body to grow. Challenges are actually fuel for your brain. Coming back to that word anti-fragile, your brain is anti-fragile. It needs challenges in order to keep growing. And this may sound like a little daunting to know that you have to go through sad times in order for your brain to grow. But the hopeful thing about it is that in knowing this, you actually can pick the challenges that you get to face. There are some things that are in your control, even if it sometimes doesn't feel like it. Rather than creating problems that don't exist, like for me with the windows, I am choosing to accept a challenge that I know will be very hard. The next few months will be very difficult for me as I learn to adapt into my new role and I struggle with how it will fit into my personal life. I know that in the end, I will reap the rewards, whether it's just more money or where I learn more about myself and develop relationships and learn more from other people. And I will remind myself that I need time to adapt. No matter what challenges I'm going through, the best way to handle it is to just observe and adapt and to not react so strongly. And one thing to remind myself is that emotions are fleeting and they are not a reflection of reality. So even if I might feel really sad in the moment, that doesn't necessarily mean that the world is a sad place all the time. Even though it feels like it is in that very moment, it's not. It's a fleeting feeling that will go away. And in fact, I even have some control over how I feel, even if it might not mean so in the moment. Doing more meditations and things for my mental health will actually help me to improve my control over my emotions. I've learned to govern my emotions through a number of meditation techniques like EFT tapping and also a thing called heart coherence meditation, or just learning to sit and feel my emotions instead of repressing them. Giving myself like a few minutes every day to just feel all the things that I have not allowed myself to feel throughout the day will help me to not suddenly explode in a moment where it might not be the best time to do so. And in doing this, I get to decide who I want to be. So this is your moment also to decide who you want to be and to take a few moments to actually think about the outcome of what you are about to take on. Think about how you'll feel 10 minutes from now. If you react in a certain way, will you be proud of how you reacted in 10 minutes or so? And even just taking the time to think about that will help you to regulate your emotions because you're slowing down, you're breathing, and you're observing how you actually feel. And most of the time, just the act of observing will help you see things in a different light. So continuing in mastering your emotions as you're going through challenges and changes, giving your body time to adapt and observe what you're going through is the best thing that you can do instead of reacting quickly to whatever stressors are in front of you, because change doesn't happen overnight. If you catch yourself in these moments every day and decide who you want to be, you'll wake up one day and realize that you've started to heal and change. And for me, this has become kind of like a theme in my overall life, where healing and change I'm going through is this slow and steady process that doesn't happen overnight. Instead of rushing through challenges and things that I need to learn and get through in my life, I'm trying to take things one page at a time, both figuratively and literally, where I get to enjoy my life and the challenges and the changes that I'm taking on in my personal journey. Change doesn't happen in breakthroughs, but in small micro habits, which is something I've started to really learn this year. I want to apply it also to the changes that I'm going through and the challenges that I will be taking on and allowing my body to adapt to. Despite knowing that I'm going to be very stressed over the next few months over challenges that I've agreed to take on, knowing that challenges are good for my brain and knowing that this will be beneficial to me down the line has actually helped to motivate me to take on this new role. And I was like waffling between whether I really wanted to change or to challenge myself or to take on this new difficulty. And reading this and learning about the anti-fragility of the brain really helped me to realize that I need to do this for myself, that I need to be challenged, that I need to give my brain fuel and something to really run on and to improve on. So if you're going through some sort of challenge, or if you're at a crossroads where you are trying to decide whether to take on a stressful situation, just think about it as if it's going to be beneficial to you, if it's going to change your brain or change your life in some way, to look at this point of life with hope for the future. I hope that this video resonated with you in some way. By the way, my name is Hoang. I'm an author and librarian. I wrote the books Girl Giant and the Monkey King, Monstrous Mrs. My, Silver and Smoke. I have a new book coming out called Auntie Cute's Golden Claws Nail Salon. And if you are interested in videos like this, please give me a like and subscribe. You can also sign up for my newsletter, which are updates on publishing, writing, editing, and other things going on in my life. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.